All right, so to all the haters out there and the trolls, am I still a conspiracy theorist? Am I? Trump goes ham on the number 17 all over his Truth Social. Just vomits 17 everywhere. If you can't trust the justice system, if the justice system's too corrupt, it goes where? Oh, military? Hold on. Wait. I thought I was a conspiracy theorist. I thought I was the crazy guy on the internet. Nah, not anymore. Trump goes ham all over True Social, proving that myself and Juanito were right. We've been over the target for 5 years. And if you haven't been on @Nino'sCorner.tv, you've been missing out because you're way ahead of the ball if you're on there. And you know what, folks? Yeah, I'm tooting my own horn. I've doubled down, tripled down, quadrupled down the whole entire time. I stuck to my guns. I trusted my instincts. Folks, we're getting close. When a president of the United States tweets this shit or truths this stuff on his Truth Social, he ain't playing. We're getting close, and everything that is happening right now it's all being exposed so you could see it. Because when you can't trust the justice system, it goes where? Military. And who's been saying this for the longest time? Juanito. For 5 years. I don't know anybody else. I don't give a shit what their status is, who they are. Nobody. I can't name one. Juan has been on here double down, triple downing, quadruple downing the whole time, holding everyone's hand through this storm. I got to give credit where credit's due. I'm sorry. No other fucking podcaster, nobody has been covering this. They don't touch it, do they? They stay away from it because they're scared. They don't want to be that guy. They don't want to be that crazy conspiracy theorist. Ooh, nobody likes them. Well, we're right. Folks, hit the notification button. Help me help you. Hit the notification button. Like, share, subscribe, all the above. Venmo is D-Rod1977. D-Rod1977. When the Lights Go Out on Amazon. It's my book. I wrote it myself. No ghostwriter, nothing. I had someone that helped me out with my grammatical errors, an editor, but other than that, nothing. Nothing has changed. It's the essence of the way I talk and the way I write, and it's my life. Also, my mama's book, The Mexican Mix. Folks, I don't want to speak too soon, but I feel like my family was delivered a blessing from God. My dad he's alive. My mom's alive. They both have dementia. It's a mixed bag of nuts at my house. I'll tell you that right now. I don't know what's going on, but hey, every day is like 50 first dates with both of them right now, but they're alive, and I appreciate the prayers. That's it. My dad's in rehab right now. He has a feeding tube, oxygen, the whole thing, but he's alive, and he tells me he wants to live. So what am I supposed to say to that? X is Nino Boxer. X is Nino Boxer. PatriotWear.com. Get your clothes there now because we're going to have a huge facelift on it very soon. Everything's going to change on PatriotWear.com. So get what you can there now because everything's going to change. Also, Nino'sCorner.tv is Fire, Alpha Warrior, Joshua Reed. The General's tent is up there now with General Valale. He brings a different perspective. 𝗀𝗏 will be the next general in the General's tent this month. December, when this shit hits the fan. Oh, boy, did I have a phone call with Juan that was pretty damn, my hair stood on end. That's all I could say. He told me some dark stuff, man. Dark stuff. And but I'm not going to betray his trust, but I'll hint today at it in this podcast. So 𝗀𝗏 will be the next general in the General's tent. Ask your questions away. General's tent right now is 50% off. All of it is. All annuals 50% off right now because I'm Sancho Claus and it's the Black Friday special. Orale! So, hey, Black Friday special General's tent. Ringside with Nino is this Wednesday. The annuals are all annuals are 50% off on Nino'sCorner.tv right now. So Wednesday we were war game together, and you know I like to spill the beans a little bit in the ringside with Nino. So ask me whatever question you want to ask me, and I'll answer it truthfully. And that's on ringside with Nino at ninoscorner.tv. 50% off all specials or all annuals. It's a big special going on. And folks, get your red light. Get your red light. All right, the math on this actually shocked me, folks. I got my own red light PMF and red light therapy system several months ago, and I'm already sleeping deeper, recovering faster, and the chronic inflammation in my back is gone. Here's the kicker. Clinics usually charge $75 to $150 for a single session, and you walk away owning nothing. The system costs less than 10 to 15 times of those of clinical visits, and it lasts you a lifetime. No bulbs, no pods, no subscriptions. You buy it once, and you're done paying forever. That's easily $50,000 to $100,000 put back in your pocket over the next 10 to 20 years while you feel incredible every single day, and you do. Right now, it's the absolute lowest price ever because of Black Friday. You can pay in full, or if you'd rather spread it out, just choose PayPal at checkout, and you'll see low monthly options. Many people get plans that cost less per month than the one clinic visit. Go to myredlight.com, use code NINO, NINO30, NINO25 on individual items or bundles. The sale ends in just a few days, so grab yourself a red light panel or a PMF mat, and you won't be sorry, folks. It's pretty damn awesome. I enjoy it. All right, let's get into this. So, like I said, let's not forget. Time to light it up. You might want to turn it down or turn it up, ladies and gentlemen, because here I go. Coming at you live from the apocalypse, folks. Yeah. You'd hate to hear me sing in the shower. It's terrible. Sometimes I get caught when I'm like singing in my car, in my truck. And you get that look like, damn, dude, that's pretty bad. That's why I never do karaoke. I can't do karaoke. Everyone's, come on, have some fun. I'm like, no. If I did sing karaoke, I'm going to have to get up there and just purposely act stupid to make up for my bad singing. Like get up there and sing really bad. So it's like, all right, he sings bad, but I mean, at least he's making it funny. Yeah, it's pretty terrible. Oh. All right, let's get into this. So, all right, let's get into this. I had a long talk with Juan last night. I'm going to try to bring him on today. I think he's traveling. When is he not traveling? I believe he's flying from Hawaii to Washington, D.C., something crazy. But, gosh, man, I got to tell you, folks, it was eerie. It was an eerie conversation. I'm like, what? What are you saying? Like, I couldn't believe what he was telling me on the phone of where we're at right now in this deep state war and what's coming. So an executive order is coming. A national emergency is coming. He told me how that possibly gets kicked off and how this goes military. Now, I'm going to let him explain that himself on ninoscorner.tv probably today. But the fact that, just now, Obama really believes he's going to get out of it. The Clintons know they're in trouble. The Bush family made a deal, but he told me in detail how they did this. And gosh, I wish he would. The way, when I get frustrated with him on the podcast is because the way he tells me on the phone is point, and it's done. And I'm like, okay, I got it. And then, try to do your podcast like this, that. He's so different on the phone with me than he is on a podcast. He speaks in parables on the podcast. I'm like, what's going on here? But he's got to bring the public along the way he wants to. But folks, we're going to see congressmen and women, when you see the first one get ill or can't get to work, or one or two of them, which is going to be soon from my understanding. I'll let Juan explain it further, but two of them are going to kind of bow out. Well, Marjorie Taylor Greene already did. I'm not saying that's related in any way. I think she's getting out of the way of a shitstorm. But what's coming, I think she's getting out of the way, if you want to know the truth. I think she's stepping aside, and the ones that don't know what's coming, it's going to hit them like a fucking tidal wave, what's coming. And this is not just it's going to be at a local level as well. So this is big. And also, if you're wondering about those few officials and lawmakers that made that seditious video, there's a lot of rumors going around the internet. Oh, they're in trouble. We asked Grok, we asked ChatGPT, and it said they're not in trouble. No. Let me tell you this right now. They're in trouble. Oh yeah, they've been sat down. They've been talked to, and I don't think they're making another video. Okay, so that's all I know on that part, is that they are in trouble. Okay, I'm going to say that right now. They are in trouble. I don't know what degree. I don't know. I would love to be a fly on the wall, but they are. You don't do that. Fuck around and find out. All right. So let's get into this. Justice system corrupt, hints at military tribunals. Nick Fuentes declares war on Tucker. Now I've messaged Nick Fuentes and said, let's come on my show. Hey, I won't throw any cheap shots. I haven't got a response. I know he knows who I am. He's out. He said the last time I invited him on, well, I don't think your YouTube audience would appreciate me, this and that. I want it on YouTube or something like that. Nick, come on the show. Come on. In fact, I'll be totally fair. I want to hear your point of view, because actually the last few broadcasts that he's made, I kind of made my ears perk up, especially he holds nothing back. And I admire that. If someone's willing to do that, I mean, he came out and talked about Tucker the way he did. Like, he really threw Tucker Carlson under the bus. And to be quite honest with you, I like it. Not that I dislike Tucker. I like Tucker. But I like that Nick Fuentes gives zero fucks. And he doesn't care. And he called him out, which I would do as well. So, Nick, if you want to come on the show, come on the show. Like I said, I think you're an agitator. Prove me wrong. I'll have a decent conversation with you, and I just want to get your point of view. But I think you are an agitator for such a time as this. But I could be wrong, and I'm willing to admit that I could be wrong. So if you want to come on the show, brother, you're more than welcome. I won't be like Tucker. I'll say it to your face. But I don't know. I think I got a feeling I'm going to kind of like this guy. I like his style, to be quite honest with you. Be quite honest with you. He's kind of grown on me. It's like a weed that grows in your backyard, and then you're like, I got to cut that down. And the next thing you know, it's huge. It's like a tree. And then you're like, you know what? That looks, I'm going to let it stay. It's a nice weed. And I think that's what happened with Nick Fuentes. I think he's growing on me like a weed. You got to admire people that just tell it the way it is, right? If someone's confident, I mean, fuck it. If they're confident in who they are and what they believe in, you got to give them that blessing of like, all right, you got it, whatever. So you can't say it's a conspiracy anymore. Trump now has put it all over his Truth Social. And if you're not paying attention, shame on you. It's your problem. If you're not paying attention to what Trump is putting out there, he's telling you what is going on. And those of you who thought this was a conspiracy for the longest time, you're going to be wrong, dead wrong, and you're going to reap the repercussions from this. Understand that. This is real. Okay? All right? Yeah, you should be paying attention now. He's putting it all out there. So let me also give you an update. Tina Peters is out of solitary confinement and could be out of jail by this week, or at least in federal custody. That's another thing that Juan told me last night. So they're making headway. Let's hope she makes it out alive. Your phone calls worked. President Trump even Truth Socialed it. So everything that Juan did worked. So this is great news. Also, I have Stuart Swerdlow coming on again. I'm going to put that up tomorrow with his video. He does get debriefed by people within the Trump administration and the government. He also gets debriefed out of people in Russia. You got to understand, his great uncle was the first president of the Soviet Union. His cousin started the KGB. This guy has connections. Stuart Swerdlow says the Ukraine war will end by January 19th. Now, he was right about the shutdown. Let's see if he's right about this. But he says the Ukraine war will be ended by January 19th of 2026. And Zelensky is in trouble. Big trouble. So Zelensky is terrified of a peace deal because why? His life depends on it. The little dancing Zorba, as Ghost likes to call him. So he knows his life is literally on the line depending on what happens here. He knows if the war is perpetuated, well, he lives. And if it ends, oh boy, little dancing Zorba is going away. Or maybe worse. Game over, Zelensky. The dogs are coming for you. Game over. So many dramatic little micro theaters are playing out right now within this grand theater of the deep state war, isn't it? It's pretty impressive to watch. I feel that, this next person that I'm going to bring up, Marjorie Taylor Greene, I feel like she totally miscalculated her moves. And I think she made a premature move going against Trump. Marjorie Taylor Greene, to me, is, I think, a lot of people say that she has secret plans. She has secret plans to run for president in 2028. I think she's getting very bad advice, and she's getting out of the shitstorm that she thinks is going to happen in 2026. I don't think she knows. Maybe she does, but I don't think she knows about the executive order that's coming. I think she expects the Democrats to come in on 2026 and completely sweep it and then impeach Trump. That's what she's kind of hinted to. And she's sold out going on The View, Bill Maher. When people do that, they sell out, okay? When you see people sell out, just look where they're going. If they're going on big liberal syndicates, if they're bringing liberals on their show that are big names, they've sold out, okay? They're sellouts. Especially if they don't push them. When they question them, they just kind of sit back and smile. Nah, you're a sellout. So that sucks because they have to live with that in their soul. In their soul, they have to know they're a piece of shit. It's sad, but they have to live with it, not me. So does Marjorie Taylor Greene have alternative plans for 2028? I think she jumped ship, and I think she miscalculated her move, and we're all going to see that plain as day very soon because Trump is getting ready to make some big moves. Or maybe she knows Trump's about to make some big moves, and she just doesn't want to risk her life. I don't know, but there's something here. The people that I've talked to about Marjorie, they say no, she's about as sharp as a spoon, and she just doesn't know what's going on. And, her little comments about it's not 4D chess. Well, you're right. It's not. It's 5D chess. And she really just doesn't know anything. She's like the right side of AOC. She's like the left side has AOC. The right has Marjorie Taylor Greene. That's like the equivalent. So here we go. Does she know something? Has she secretly been told something? Is she banking on her belief the Democrats will sweep the 2026 midterms and then also impeach President Trump? I think that's what she has. I think that's the belief in her tiny little cranium. Maybe she knows that, or maybe there's word out there that they're going to have more assassination attempts on Trump. I don't know. That's just a question. This is heating up, folks. This is going to get really hot. And Stuart Swerdlow comes on Nino'sCorner.tv and says the next 12 months are going to be volatile. He says it's game time. Next 12 months, volatile. And he even said March of 2026 is going to be a huge turning point. And November of 2026, you won't recognize the country anymore. There's going to be so many changes. Now, I don't know what they are. He didn't clarify on that, but he did a little bit. But I'll let you all decide for yourself. I believe, that's how I run my show. You all decide for yourself. So what's happening in the news right now? So Trump DOJ is reportedly investigating claims Venezuela helped steal the 2020 you-know-what. And now who's been saying that for the last 5 years? Nino'sCorner.tv. We've been saying this for the last 5 years. Venezuela. That's why we're really there. How many times did I say that on my show? Why are we in Venezuela? It has a lot to do with 2020. It's not over yet. I can't believe I'm singing that shit. I can't believe this guy has me singing that shit. So we're definitely ahead of the ball on .tv. And folks, Well, I lost my place. I'm sorry about that. But, yep. All right. So what did Marjorie Taylor Greene not factor in as she stepped down? Trump's coming executive order on fair elections and the national emergency. That's coming. I've been told that's coming soon. And it has to be sooner than later because he needs enough runway so when November of 2026 comes around, everything's in place. So it's not something he does, let's say, September or October. This has to be done, I've heard, before spring, preferably this year, could be done right after Thanksgiving, from what I'm hearing. So, wow. So when he does that, it's going to force the Democrats to do something really crazy, from what I'm hearing on the phone last night. What does that mean? Well, you all use your imagination. It can kickstart everything, and it can happen as soon as after Thanksgiving. No one really knows when. It's speculative, and I'm saying that now, but we are definitely in the window, and it has to happen way before November 2026, the executive order and the declaration of the national emergency, from my understanding. Democrats do not have a chance. They're done. I'm telling you, I'm going to say this again. Democrats, any of you listening to me, you're done. You're done. You're done. You are so done. It's over. So you're going to resort to chaos. Yeah. Ooh, it's going to get big. It's going to get ugly. It's going to get nasty out there. It's going to get hot. But we expect it. Everyone knows this. And I believe, even though, you know who knows this now? Mamdani. Yeah, Mamdani. Didn't you just love how Trump pranced him around and masqueraded this little guy around like his puppet? That's called ownership. And that's what Trump does to certain individuals. He puts them in the spotlight and says, look, I own him now. This is my little guy. Sit on my lap, Mamdani. Here you go. And he sticks his hand up his ass, starts talking. Yeah, so now Mamdani is his little puppet. That's what he does. That's how he trolls the deep state. And that's what he did with Mamdani. So Trump loves to grab these deep state puppets and use them for photography, publicity stunts, and to troll the other side like, hey, I got him. He's mine now. That's what that means. That's what that means. It's kind of like a pimp and a hoe. When the hoe goes to another pimp and she starts taking pictures with that other pimp, the other pimps get mad and they say, why are you with that guy? Well, she works for him now. That's kind of like what's going on right now. Who works for who? Yeah, you guessed it. He exposes them and masquerades them in the open like a monkey on a string. This is done on purpose to show ownership. Ownership. Now let's get to Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes calls out Tucker Carlson as a fraud and a fake. Nick Fuentes is lashing out on Tucker Carlson now, and he has a point. So this Dinesh D'Souza puts this out. I don't think Dinesh really likes Tucker too much. I'm not saying I don't like Tucker. I like Tucker. I have nothing against Tucker. I think he's doing a great job at what he does. But Nick claims Tucker and Nick had a jovial dinner and then chatted together like ideological soulmates, and then Tucker turned around and calls him an anti-Semite. Nick has come to see Tucker is not a straight shooter. Now, this is from Dinesh D'Souza. Nick Fuentes then in return does an entire video calling out Tucker Carlson on being a fake and a two-faced liar. So you want to play a little bit of that, Alex?
Sean Ryan Show talking shit in circular statements for 2 hours about you. You are winning. Stay strong, brother. Just a wang F in Canada.
Thank you for the big super chat. I appreciate it. Yeah, I don't like that he keeps calling me an anti-Semite. What the fuck is that? He didn't call me an anti-Semite on the show or in person. So what is that? Well, you know, we dinner for 3 hours, then we do a show, we do this big interview. Now I'm an anti-Semite. Since when? So let me get it straight. First, I was a gay fed in my parents' basement. Then we're totally kosher. Now I'm an anti-Semite. So what the fuck is that? For 3 years, he's been going around telling.
So there it is. I mean, you know what? I got to give him respect to call it what it is. I give anybody respect who does that. So the video is a little bit crazy, and right now becoming, you know, it's gaining a lot of traction. It's going viral, but he's calling out Tucker saying, hey, dude, you didn't say any of this shit to my face, which, you know what? I would be the same way. So I kind of have a newfound respect for Nick, to be quite honest with you, because he's got some balls, and he's calling him out. So, there's this respect factor now as a fighter, me being a fighter, I respect that. I don't respect people that call people names behind their back. If I have a problem with somebody, I say it to their face. And if it escalates to the next level, they're snoring. Oh, boy. But right about now is when the deep state would try to divide and conquer. Right about now. And I guess we're all seeing that play out. Now, I'm not saying Nick is deep state or Tucker, but if it was your last desperate attempt would be, if the Democratic Party is failing, you would try to infiltrate and divide the right. Now, I still want to see who Nick works for because I still believe he's an agitator, but I'll say it to his face. And it's right on time when the Democrats are losing. They're slithering their way into the right, whispering in people's ears like Marjorie Taylor Greene. Don't worry. We will have you run for president in 2028. Step down now. Trump will be impeached. And if not, we will assassinate him. So you have James Comey possibly getting his charges dismissed, Bill and Hillary not showing up for the depositions. The justice system is exposed now more than ever. And what does that mean? Well, shadow of Ezra posts. President Trump has flooded his Truth Social timeline with a series of 17 themed images, sending an encrypted message that the moment to act has arrived. That it has arrived. One image urges supporters to remember your oath. Another shows Trump himself with words, TikTok, hinting that the countdown is nearly over. So think about the timing of this. This comes right after that Democrat video of them saying to disobey orders. Both sides know it's on. Both sides know it's go time. I guess right now, it can happen any day. I'm going to guess it's going to happen shortly before or shortly after Thanksgiving, but that is just a guess. If I was going to do it, I'd ruin Thanksgiving dinner. That's what I would do if I was Trump. And I don't know. I think he would do it that way. But both sides know right now that it's game on. Put the pieces together yourself. You're all smart. Think about what Trump is putting out right now and think about what the Democrats put out on their videos. Sedition, time is now. People are talking. They know it's go time. A third declares time to obliterate this deep state. Do it. That letter in the alphabet written across his shoulder. He finished with V for Vendetta, image saying nothing can stop what's coming, shown without the mask. I love the style of this guy. Oh, boy. Trump also posted on Truth, if your justice system has been corrupted, do you bypass the corruption? Military. So you want to show that one. There it is. There's the post itself. There you go, folks. Take a good look at that. Yeah, I didn't post that. He did. But who's been talking about this for the last 5 years? I tell you what, I may not be the sharpest tool in the shed, but I'll tell you what's sharp on me. My instincts. I have fighter's instincts. And being sober has helped me weed through and navigate through this matrix to where I can deliver and bring you all the right information. So, I guess I got sober at the right time. Oh, it's the midterm. It's the mid-roll. Here we go. All right, folks, get your trim with Nino. You heard the ghetto timer go off. Well, you all seen the headlines that talk about Ozempic and similar miracle weight loss shots. But what most people don't realize is that a major analysis just found that people who stopped taking these weight loss injections gain nearly all their weight back within a year. That's the catch. These drugs These drugs only work while you're on them. They're expensive, and the moment you stop, your body fights back. This is why I like BioTrust GLP-1 Elevate, and everyone is obsessed with the weight management results I've seen with it. It helps my body naturally trigger the same hunger-controlling, craving-reducing signals that Ozempic would, but without needles, prescriptions, or the scary side effects. It also promotes safety and fullness, helps reduce hunger hormones, helps fat loss instead of muscle loss, and helps maintain healthy blood sugar levels. For a limited time, you can grab a bag of BioTrust GLP-1 Elevate for 40% off at Trim with Nino. Plus, you'll also receive a 60-day get a satisfaction guarantee and a free express shipping on subscriptions. Once again, Trim with Nino, folks. You really don't know what this stuff is doing to you long term. You know, that's why I never did Ozempic or anything like that. And I'm happy with the GLP-1 Elevate. I don't peddle anything I don't use. So, allegedly, I have to say it this way, allegedly. And I'm trying to find out more on this. I talked to Juan about it last night, and he just laughed. Seditious conspiracy and indictment comes with a cost, folks. So this was on an X post yesterday. I picked it up, and I asked Juan about that. He says it's happening. So I'm going to go with that. Democrat Senators Mark Kelly of Arizona and 𝗬𝗏 of Michigan are officially under federal criminal investigation for seditious conspiracy and incitement of insurrection. Did you really think Trump was going to just walk away from this? Because I didn't. My instincts told me no. Now, General Vallely on General Sense said, he'll just ignore it and move on. I don't think so. I don't think he's playing around. He's not playing around. And he's setting the tone. We're going into war. So I tend to believe this. Federal criminal investigation for seditious conspiracy and incitement of insurrection related to the recent video commanding members of the military to disobey orders given to them by President Trump, the commander-in-chief. If charged and convicted, they potentially face decades and possibly the rest of their life behind bars. Big, big trouble. Big trouble in Little China. Our president isn't playing around with these traitors. Swift American justice is coming. Really dumb move on their part. Really dumb move. And I'm going to say this again, and I'm telling you, even if you're at a local level in, let's say, El Paso, you're going to jail. You are going to jail. This is bigger than you've ever imagined. It's way bigger. Okay, let me give you an analogy. Let me give you a visual here so you can comprehend this. This is the way it was told to me. Termites, they eat your whole house. If you're going to fumigate for termites, no matter where they're at in the house, you put a huge tent around the house and you fumigate for every last termite. That's what it takes. That's what they're going to do. Leave no stone unturned. Everybody, mayors, city reps, all of you, it's game time and it's coming. And you may think, oh, he's so crazy. He's a conspiracy theorist. He's a conspiracy theorist. Who listens to that guy? I just hit 500,000 subscribers, baby. Booyakasha! Yeah. Justice Department again asked judge to unseal Epstein grand jury testimony after Congress passes law. The Justice Department has asked a federal judge in Florida to reconsider unsealing grand jury materials related to an investigation into Jeffrey Epstein as the agency faces congressionally mandated deadline to release all documents related to the accused sex trafficker next month. A judge in the Southern District of Florida previously denied a request by the DOJ to make public transcripts from the case. Justice system is corrupt, which federal prosecutors asked for due to extensive public interest, but not as part of the judicial proceeding. Epstein committed many of his crimes in Florida. When a Florida judge denied the DOJ's criminal request, she said her hands are tied because the Justice Department sought to release the sealed evidence due to extensive public interest, not as part of a judicial proceeding, which is the usual standard. Oh, okay. None of this is going to matter soon. None of it's going to matter. I hope everyone loves being in prison for the rest of their lives, and that's where this is going. I'm telling you now. A projected 700 to 750,000 millionaires. That's the number that was given to me. People might want to fact check this one. I always tell you if I don't know the precise number, you might want to fact check it, but are leaving New York City. That's what they're saying here. Are the rich fleeing Mandami's Manhattan? Well, according to the data, so Margaret Flint was 18 when she first moved to Manhattan. So you know what? Okay, so I could go into this whole article about Margaret Flint and her experiences in Manhattan, but it says here that yes, there are some millionaires staying because they're just so liberal and they want Sharia law. They just love it. They've got so liberal that Sharia law sounds so good to them, especially if you're a feminist. Oh, I don't know what it is, but that just sounds so tasteful to me. I love just being thrown off a roof and learn to fly. Yeah. Oh, boy. After a major break with Trump, Marjorie Taylor Greene will resign. We all know this. Republican Georgia Rep. Marjorie Taylor Greene, an America First conservative who has clashed with President Trump and her party, said Friday she would resign from Congress January 5th, 2026. Rep. Marjorie Taylor Greene, the Georgian Republican who rose to prominence as one of President Trump's biggest defenders and recently became one of the biggest critics, is leaving Congress. So I have a feeling there's going to be a lot more leaving pretty soon. A lot of people are going to be stepping down. Pay attention to that. I've heard you'll know it's game time when you see another one or two step aside. So let's look for that. Black Sheep family, let's all take a look and pay attention because things are going to start happening. Now, I don't know when this goes public. I don't know if Trump comes out and says, all right, time to go military. I don't know how this happens. I don't know how this plays out. I'm going to talk to Juan more, but I'll be sure to ask that question on .tv, Nino'sCorner.tv today if I get him on today. I know he's traveling, so hopefully I get him on today. Right now, actually, on Nino'sCorner.tv, I have Ryan Mata on talking about CPS. Child trafficking. Woo! Can't put this on FluffTube, but it's very important to listen to it. Take a little rest. Trump makes remarkable 180 after blasting longtime ally as traitor. President Donald Trump has openly gloated about Rep. Marjorie Taylor Greene resignation announcement, going so far as to describe the long-term MAGA ally as a traitor, but told NBC News he'd happy to see her career resume after taking a little break. I guess that's one way to be cordial about it. But I call it a sneaky suspicion, but I think, there's something going on behind the scenes, right? I need to, that reminds me, I need to get Judge Joe Brown back on. A sneaky suspicion. I need to bring Judge Joe Brown back on. That's what I need. I need to reach out to him. And y'all want to see Judge Joe Brown again on here? And we could talk about this, all these things that are playing out judicially. I think it'd be pretty good. Hey, yo. All right. So, Loomer takes credit for arch enemy's resignation. Far-right influencer Laura Loomer has claimed credit for the shock resignation of her bitter rival Marjorie Taylor Greene. What do you all think about Laura Loomer? I don't know what to think of her. What's your all's thoughts on Laura Loomer? Responding to the news that the Georgia representative will not be returning to Congress after the Christmas break, Loomer was quick to take responsibility for her stepping down. Loomered, she wrote in a message on X just minutes after MTG posted her resignation to the social media site. Oh, that pissed her off. The secret cat fights, is just, she's a nut. I don't care. I don't trust Loomer. A lot of you don't like her, huh? She's weird. Laura Loomer is a big no for me. All right, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, do you guys like my coffee mug? Fear not the truth. I know I'm rough around the edges, and I know I bring it to you a little bit differently and a bit awkward, but at least I call it the way it is. A lot of people are scared of that. A lot of people won't come on my show because of that. I don't care. Fuck them. Okay, so Trump tells Just the News that he will designate Muslim Brotherhood as a terrorist organization, ? Maybe. I got to be careful here on the fluff tube. But President Donald Trump told Just the News on Sunday morning that he will designate the Muslim Brotherhood as a foreign terrorist organization, striking a blow against a group long blamed for destabilizing the Middle East and radicalizing young Muslims, which tells me, I don't know, Plano, Texas, Dearborn, Michigan, you might have some trouble on your hands. I don't know. Call me crazy. But I think you might have some trouble on your hands. Just saying. U.S. gangs now answer to Mexican cartels, Texas sheriff says. In El Paso, Texas. Can you guys believe I live in this fucking place? I don't know. If I didn't live in El Paso, where would I go? Oh, geez. There's so many places. I do like Tennessee. I like Nashville. I like Austin, Texas, even though it's highly liberal, but I like Phoenix. But yeah, El Paso, I'm here for my parents. When Mexico's Gulf Cartel began distributing cocaine in some South Texas counties, local criminals who took pride in their toughness and independence suddenly found themselves answering to the cartel in their own turf. The presence of Mexican cartels in the United States have changed how domestic organizations function. Street gangs, motorcycle gangs, and other domestic criminal organizations have all been relegated to the status of mere contractors and subcontractors, the Goliad County Sheriff Roy Boyd said. As such, they are beholden to act as commanded by their masters. So cartels now are controlling the gangs in America. In Victoria and surrounding counties in South Texas, only cartel-authorized dealers, namely the Houston chapter of the Mexican Mafia, could distribute and sell high-purity cocaine. All other dealers had to dilute their product by 50% or face consequences, Boyd said. And you know what the consequences are. They'll just take you out. Whew. Jeez. So right now, Venezuela is very hot, folks, as we're all watching this transpire. More aircraft carriers are showing up, battleships, troops, everything. And I also got a good update on that from Juan last night as well on what's happening over there. So as we surround the area in the Caribbean with battleships and aircraft carriers and flying drills, in the southern region of Venezuela, special ops are there, making Maduro very nervous. So this is getting crazy. Trump DOJ is reportedly investigating claims Venezuela helped steal the you-know-what in 2020. As I've said many times, as Juan said many times on my show, FAA warns airlines about flying over Venezuela, potentially hazardous situation. I don't know. Who's going to go vacation in Venezuela right now? I don't think anybody. I'd also have a very big warning for you, travel advisory if you're going to Mexico. The Federal Aviation Administration warned airlines about flying over Venezuela as it issued a notice urging them to exercise caution due to potentially hazardous situation in the region. It's getting hot. I think this kicks off any day, any moment. I got a feeling it's going to be around the holidays. The advisory comes as the U.S. has significantly increased its military presence across the Caribbean under U.S. Southern Command, deploying bombers, warships, and Marines as part of the expanded campaign targeting drug trafficking and so-called narco-terrorist networks operating near Venezuela. Let's go. Come on, Betty. Let's do it. Let's live on the edge. Let's go to Venezuela and sip a pina colada. I bet they're out there. You know they are. Come on, let's do it. There's some hot men down there. They're all in gangs. They hardly dress up. They're beautiful. Let's go. U.S. hails significant sweep toward a Ukraine peace framework in talks. So the White House said Sunday that talks in Switzerland on a proposal to end the Ukraine war marked a significant step forward and reaffirmed that any eventual deal would fully uphold the war-wrecked country's sovereignty. A joint U.S.-Ukraine statement released minutes later by Washington said, as a result of discussion, the parties drafted an updated and refined peace framework. You know, Zelensky doesn't want to hear any of this shit. You know, Zelensky's like, oh, no, I'm in deep shit. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio led a U.S. delegation that met with Ukrainian and European officials in Geneva on Sunday to try to thrash out a plan for ending the conflict, which began in February 2022 with Russian invasion of Ukraine. U.S. President Donald Trump had given Ukraine until November 27th to approve his controversial plan to end nearly 4 years of fighting. Now, Stuart Swerdlow says January 15th, this thing is ended. Let's see. He was right about the shutdown ending. I mean, I'm listening. Like I said, folks, I lay it out for you all to play it out. Nearly 200,000 Ukrainians in U.S., all right, 200,000 Ukrainians in U.S. thrown into legal limbo by Trump immigration crackdown. Well, maybe you shouldn't be here. Tens of thousands who fled war to U.S. face uncertain future. 24 Ukrainians tell Reuters of financial and mental hardship. Some Ukrainians choose self-deportation to avoid detention or penalties. So 200,000 Ukrainians are here not knowing what they're going to do. Damn. I don't know. But you got to clean it up somewhere, right, folks? Obamacare premiums are skyrocketing. Republicans can't figure out what to do. I don't know, maybe get rid of it. Republicans have said for months that they had plenty of time to figure out what to do about Obamacare subsidies expiring at year's end. During a 6-week government shutdown that ended last week, they said they talk about it after. Now with 5 weeks to go before New Year's, they're scrambling and divided. Folks, I heard Obama. Boy, if you could have heard what Juan told me, man. I'm not going to betray his trust, but you can ask him in the general's tent. But man, oh man. Gosh, he told me some stuff that was very, very eerie, man, that made my hair stand up on end. He knows exactly what's going on within their Secret Service. They've been given an option. God, I can't talk about it. I want to. Let's just say this. If any of them just suddenly pass away, just know it was an option. RFK Jr.'s erotic poetry published an act of revenge. Salacious verses written for Olivia 𝗬𝗎, 𝗬𝗎 the floozy, 32 by Robert F. Kennedy Jr., 71. Jesus. Wow, talk about rocking the cradle. Robbing the cradle. What is it called? Revealed by her ex-fiance. Robert F. Kennedy once dumped a dead bear in New York City's New York Central Park, sawed the head off a whale, claimed that a worm ate part of his brain, and has peddled multiple conspiracy theories. Okay, so this is obviously a hit on RFK. That's how I look at this. That's how I'm reading this. But 71-year-old U.S. Health Secretary, scion of the Kennedy political dynasty, has now been swept up in a sex scandal that even by his standards of eccentricity is eye-catching. Mr. Kennedy, who also denied that he took a bite out of a barbecued dog on a trip to South Korea in 2010, has been accused of writing explicit poetry. He looks like he's a little off. I'm not going to lie. He looks like he does a little, like some crazy shit. Is it just me? I mean, he just seems like he's just a little bit out there. Not in a bad way. I think he's probably a really cool guy, but I bet you I'm fucking out there. I won't bite the head off a dog or whatever he did. But what is it? What did he do? Bite a barbecue dog, or he bit a barbecue dog. Who bit a head off? Oh, the Ozzy Osbourne bit the head off the bat. That's right. I don't know. So he's a little crazy. That's okay with me. You need to be a little crazy to be doing what they're doing. All right, I want you all to listen to this title. What's wrong here? I say the author of this article is missing the point completely, equating money with happiness. What about God, family, or relationships? So listen to this just for a second. Here's the title. Americans, happiness is at a record low. Are we just using our money the wrong way? Wow, talk about missing the concept of life completely. So 𝗀𝗃 cried every day after buying a 5,000 square foot house in Brooklyn. She had done well financially as a Wall Street trader and raising her family in a large home, and had been a dream. But cleaning a house that size was a massive undertaking. Oh, I'm so sorry for you. I'm so sorry you had to clean a 5,000 square foot house. And it seemed impossible to keep track of everyone's belonging as compared to when they lived in a smaller duplex. One day her mother came over and noted the house needed a window treatments. All of a sudden my time was being spent picking window treatments. She thought, this is miserable. This is fucking her life, really? How about go to church? Go to some Bible study. I don't know. Go help the needy. Go do some work for the homeless. That's where you get at. Folks, when I was at my very bottom end, when I found out that rock bottom had a basement, do you know that I went and donated my time? I volunteered at the homeless shelters. And I started doing anti-bullying speeches for kids at schools. That's what I did. That's what I chose to do. So happiness is not in money. I'm going to tell you that right now. It's in relation. It's in God, family, relationships. You're very rich. You're very, very rich if you have a family and you have people that love you. You're much richer than the person that has billions, that live in a mansion by themselves and they drink themselves to sleep every night. Okay? That's true wealth. In what the fuck news, and then we'll get to the super chats. In what the fuck news, wool of gay sheep passes woke test for New York fashion debut. This is serious. Designer Michael Schmidt's "I will survive," "I will survive" line uses fleece from rams that prefer same-sex partners. Oh my gosh! A wool of gay sheep made its debut appearance at a New York fashion show as part of a collection campaigning to save the animals from slaughter. Save gay sheep. The fashion line called "I Will Survive" was launched by designer Michael Schmidt after he learned that working farms often killed rams that refused to mate with their female counterparts. Oh my God. How dare they? Jeez. The Los Angeles-based designer, isn't there like other things that you could give your time to? More noble. This is what you're doing with your time. This is what you're doing with your life. The Los Angeles-based designer who styled Madonna and Cher partnered with Rainbow Wool, a German nonprofit that rescues non-mating sheep, and Grindr, an LGBT dating app, to bring what he said was an animal and human rights story to the runway. Mr. Shit told the New York Times the idea is selling is that homosexuality is not only part of the human condition, but it's part of the animal world as well. That puts the lie to this concept that being gay is a choice. It's part of nature, he says. Yeah, but I can go into this deeper here. I'm not on FluffTube. I'm not. I'm just not. But hey, that's what they're doing at these fashion shows these days. That's where it's going. All right. So, Alex, are you there?
Hey, Nino.
All right, man. Do we have super chats?
Yeah, we got a couple here. 11.
All right. 𝗀𝗃𝗏𝗀𝗃, thank you. All right. Anybody else?
Yeah, it's stuck here. There it is.
Oh, okay. Carol and May, happy Thanksgiving all for your parents. Thank you so much. Thank you for the prayers, everyone. Thank you. God bless you. Jim Barbado. Hey, Jim Barbado. Yo, thank you so much, super sticker.
Thanks, Jim. Kelly Ray.
Kelly Ray, pray for Trump and the people still sleeping. Are we about to see nurses and docs go down for ordering the red light? Oh, that's awesome. I'm still sober. Thank you. Love you. Big thank you for all you do. Thank you so much. What else? Curse Guide.
KT Sky Ed.
I can't see it.
Yeah,
Can
it's hard
we-
to see.
Can we atch the paywall content on your site, or do we have to have Roku? You can watch on the web. I know you can go just regular. You can just go to the website, go on your phone and watch it. You don't need if you have Roku, you can watch it on Roku or Apple TV as well. Jim Barbado, super sticker, thank you. Steinhardt, thank you. God bless you for coffee. That will go to coffee. Samajalan, 23 trillion tariffs should get rid of the homeless, etc. I agree with that one, 100%. Hopefully vets get a place to live now. Super sticker, 𝗀𝗃𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗃, thank you so much, Kelly. Mario 21.7, super sticker. Thank you, Mario. God bless you. Thank you so much for that. What does that say? Henrich 4088. I know I've watched you from the beginning. Thank you for everything you do, champ. Many prayers for you and your family. What's your thoughts on NTG coming into Congress in 2021? Net worth 700,000, leaving Congress with 27 million. That could be another reason she's stepping down, to be quite honest. I don't know. Maybe insider trading. Gee, I don't know. Next, please. Thank you so much for that, by the way. Real Person Jedi super sticker. Thank you so much.
And that's it for today. Thank you, everybody.
All right, we're out. Alex, thank you for joining me. I'll see you. Today's Monday, so I'll see you Wednesday.
Sounds good, Nina. See you then.
All right,
See you,
guys,
buddy.
we're out. Peace. And the new heavyweight champion of podcasting and the Black Sheep